Hello people, this is Power here with the review of the DX Shinobi Miridewatch from Kamen Rider Zi-O. This is the Miridewatch based off of Kamen Rider Shinobi from the year 2022, as I sadly cannot show on the side anymore because with the Miridewriters, they just don't bother promoting them at all. This is literally the only image of them, which I do think really sucks about them. So instead we get Waz featuring Shinobi. Obviously it's a pun off of future and featuring, so yeah. And obviously as you can see here, Waz's color, visor colors actually do change, and it makes more sense than Kiba. It just only says Miridewatch, it doesn't say future time or anything because they're not that creative. Again, another illustration rendition off of featuring Shinobi. Compatibility and just the same art that's here, like, which just kind of sucks. Like, I know everyone likes featuring Shinobi, or just the just featuring Shinobi, but I feel like it's overrated. Like, yeah, I think people only like it because it's a ninja, so I think it's fine, but I don't know. I thought we were done talking about packaging for a minute. So obviously here's the Shinobi Miridewatch, and the base of it is really interesting. It's like an indigo. It's a really light purple, which I really appreciate. The button again. Here's Shinobi. He's a retooling off of, I'd say it's specifically a ride player. If we really want to be specific, you can't really get much out of this, honestly, but I just think this is kind of hysterical just to compare these, even though they're different scales, so it's not really fair. But the QR code for Butaba Gamba, and then the track for Shinobi is 031, the same one on Waz. So it's literally just going to do the same exact thing, because this is the only track that actually allows the GQ driver to, only track that allows technically watches that produce their own sounds. So if we hold this button down and press the button, here's the Shinobi production. Obviously it's reversed, and this is where we pull the tab out, which is pretty dreadful, as you can see how this looks. It's not fun putting them back in. I don't know if I actually talked about how these work, but anyways, let's just activate it. See, with that description, it's not a description, it's Shinobi's roll call. So, yeah. I think, obviously, because most writers do not have a roll call, they have a catchphrase, but not a roll call. But I think that's just because of the fact the majority of these Miridewatch writers were played by Sentai actors. So, but unlike Waz, if you press it a third time, you get the instrumental of the transformation. You don't actually get the actual transformation, which is what I thought it was, but you don't, because they want you to go on Premium Bandai. And again, to open it, just to alarm you, you might think that's a purple LED, but it's just white. It's just that the plastic does a good job of making it look purple. But basically, Miridewatches, this is how they're mostly built. These are just clipped together and such. So you can do some mix and matching. mixing and matching. But then, yeah, that's basically it. So let's get the Beyond driver. I apologize that the video is going to be long just because of the fact I haven't really obviously recorded with this thing, and this thing is just bright. So obviously we got to activate the Miridewatch. Set. Watch me miss in the mirror. So that's the transformation phrase. It's basically the transformation of the rider, but then the last part, so like originally for here, it will be a Shinobi Kenzan, but it's replaced with Futuring Shinobi. And yeah, I don't understand why the Beyond driver takes its time with the lights. I think because it really wants to do the projecting gimmick, obviously for the finisher. So that's the Nimpo Jikan no Time Jutsu. It's basically like technique, time. I don't know. This is the only one I obviously don't know because it's the only Japanese one. But obviously because you don't have walls, it's not gonna be like Nimpo and like time explosion. So yeah, that's basically it. As I keep alluding to for so long, we're gonna use the Jiku driver. This is already active, so we're just obviously we're gonna treat this like a proper armor and slot this in here. Obviously, just like this will make its own sounds. But like WAS, because it's using the same track, it's just going to use the new track. So for the time explosion, so this doesn't like closing, but I don't like the fact that it just says beyond the time. I understand that it says that because you can't press the button, but I think I would have liked if it just said like, this just said time explosion, this just said like whatever it does. But we're gonna insert Shinobi on the right. Yeah, it's going to be with these watches that are way more finicky, especially here. As you can see, it's not doing the finisher. So you have to like push it in. And it's kind of annoying. And basically, the issue is that because this, the left peg up here is a bit shorter than the right one, as opposed to on the left side where both of them are equal. So this will have no issues triggering the buttons at all. But with this one, it's struggling to like, it's struggling to like keep them in because of the fact this button is fine, but this one, because it has the spring, it's really difficult for it to like actually be pressed and such. Okay, so, I'm using the Yumi mode because ninjas can use bows. I'm only thinking of Ryu Hayabusa. I also remember the crossbow thing the ninja had, but this is Star Ninja we're talking about. Obviously, because this is the same track as Waz. So, yeah. So overall, I think the Shinobi Miridewatch is pretty neat. Technically, this is the only Shinobi item. If you're a fan of Shinobi, this is the only retail item you can get of him, because then you have to go for Premium Bandai, get the Mirai driver, and then that stuff. But overall, Shinobi's pretty neat. I do think the Mirai ride watches are pretty neat. I wish there was more, but maybe later. But I don't really have anything much to say about it. It's just, it depends if you like the rider or not, or if you just really want to get all of Waz's Mirai riders. So that's basically it for this review. So this is PowerRider, and I'll leave you.